this idea of mindset. There's many people who will hear that and be like, oh, what are these two idiots talking about? This woo-woo thing, right? What the hell is mindset? But one thing I will say, and I think that you probably would share this, but correct me if I'm wrong, every successful person that I've ever been around has a different way of thinking than the average person. Now, the way they think is different than each other, but they always have a unique mindset that it feels like puts them in a position to be successful, be resilient, do all these things. How do you think about mindset and its importance for people to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, 1,000%. So here's the question I ask, which hopefully makes it hyper clear. If I said to you, what made Steve Jobs successful, or Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, or Mahatma Gandhi, or Martin Luther King, whomever you want to see as a leader entrepreneur who is successful, was it the people they knew? Was it their capital? Was it technology? Or was it their mindset? I think everybody would go, okay, I get it. It's their mindset. Because if you took away everything else, their money, their capital, their relationships, their tech, but they kept their mindset, I bet that the majority would rebuild their success and rebuild what made them special in life. Your mindset is fundamental. It allows you to see opportunities different than other people, or deal with tragedy different than other people. And if you agree that your mindset is the most important element you have, then the question I have for you is, what mindset do you have? Where did you get it? What mindset do you want? And how are you going to get that? And so this conversation around mindset is fundamental. Let me take it a different direction to help folks understand this. When you look at the field of machine learning, of AI, and hopefully this is penetrated enough that everybody sort of gets, I understand AI is becoming more powerful. There's this thing called machine learning. Well, the way machine learning works is by showing a neural net, and we'll talk about what a neural net is in a second, an example after example after example. Like if you want to train a neural net to recognize cats, as Google did in their YouTube videos years ago, is you show them images of cat after cat after cat, and the neural net shapes itself, be able to recognize, oh yes, that's a cat. It's got whiskers, a tail, ears, four paws, whatever the case might be. And it learns. And you shape it by example after example. Well, guess what? Our brains are neural nets. Our brains are AI neural nets, and we shape our brains by showing it example after example. And so the question is, how are you training your neural net? What examples are you showing it over and over again? For most of us, and I've stopped this, I won't include me in this one in a second, but most folks are watching, Fox and CNN for hours. It's on the TV. I call CNN the crisis news network, or the constantly negative news network. And it's just, every murder on the planet, every explosion, every despot is shown to you over and over again, like 10 times an hour. And the question is, if you're seeing all this negativism, all of this fear-generating imagery and scarcity-driven imagery, because that's what our brain does, is it's typically focused in scarcity and fear, you're reinforcing those mindsets. And the question is that serving you? It's serving the news network, because they're delivering your eyeballs to their advertisers. That's how they make money. But is it serving you? And so we have to be careful about what's training our mindsets.
When you see people shaping their mindset, it is easy to say, I need to have a good mindset. It is easy to say, I need to avoid negative news. Are there things that they can proactively do that are a tailwind for increasing it? You mentioned earlier hanging out with people with a certain type of mindset. Are there other things that they could do?
1,000%. I mean, so you're shaping your mindset by virtue of what books you're reading, right? What podcasts are you listening to? What posters are on your wall? Who you're hanging out with? What groups you're together with? So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've done over the years is building that out. My books, Abundance, Bold, The Future's Fast When You Think, Life Force, are all mindset shaping books, right? The one I did in 2020, The Future's Fast When You Think, is a look at all of the converging exponential technologies that are creating the next decade ahead. But rather than a dystopian future, it's like, wow, these are the technologies that are going to uplift humanity, right? We're heading towards a world in which the best healthcare, the best education is being driven by AI and available to everyone on the planet effectively for free, just like Google, right? Google for the poorest kid and Google for the wealthiest kid is identical, is demonetized and democratized. And we're heading that way with the future of education, health, and a multitude of different areas. So it's, what are your communities? What are you reading? What are you watching? And what conversations are you having?